you who don't know me, my name is Miss Kenny, and I teach Spanish and Ethnic Studies here at Novato High. I'm glad to be kicking off Black History Month because as an African American living here in the United States, you can probably imagine it's very important to me. Black history is American history, but Black History Month provides the necessary opportunities to dig a little deeper. Every February, we can support students as they learn more, discover cultural impacts, and follow movements through to the present day. Since 1928, the Association for the Study of African American Life and History has provided a theme for Black History Month. And this year's theme is the Black family, representation, identity, and diversity. This month, we'll post daily profiles of folks you may not know well from the history books, but deserve to be known for the way they model Black excellence and for their contributions to our country. Each week, a Black community member locally will share their experience, and at the end of the month, we'll celebrate Black excellence in an all-school engaging remote assembly. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.
Attention juniors, are you completing your junior meetings and making course selections for next year? Check out Ethnic Studies. Here are 2 students currently taking Ethnic Studies.
Hi, my name is Xavier Sprayer, and this is why I think Ethnic Studies is an important class. So first of all, Assembly Bill 1460 made Ethnic Studies a mandatory course for the California State University system. So having a class ahead of time will be good college prep for these courses in college. Another reason is that it will increase test scores, GPA, attendance. There was a study done by Stanford that showed that GPA improved by an average of 1.4 points and that attendance rose by 21%. Another reason is that it kind of teaches about other cultures and peoples, and that this will become more important in a professional setting as the United States is going to become a minority white country by 2045, which means that white people will only be 49% of the population. So having more of a cultural understanding of the different peoples and groups in our country is going to be more and more important moving forward. Another reason is that the Assembly Bill for Ethnic Studies in high school did not pass this year, but I'm sure that another one will be brought up and it will be passed within the next 10 years. So already having a class and offering it ahead of time will be beneficial to having something set up for when it is a mandatory course offering.
I think ethnic studies is quite important because it allows students to understand different perspectives on historical events, but also understand different cultures and where they originate from and where they're coming from and their different taboos and etc. But I also feel it's quite important because you get to understand different racial theory and understand how to be a better ally, but also how to slowly create change within our society, which is very important nowadays.
This week's new staff member we would like to recognize is John Douglas, one of our student teachers. John plays and teaches saxophone, clarinet, and the flute. He holds BM in music education from Sonoma State University and has over a decade of experience in both private and classroom music instructions. As a professional freelance musician, he performs in various jazz, classical, rock, and pop, and world music contests. John is excited to share his passion for music with the students of MSA.
Attention students, leadership wants your feedback on homecoming. COVID has made some of our traditional festivities tough to do, but we're trying to reimagine and make some happen. Fill out this Google form and tell us your thoughts. Esport tryouts are this week, and anyone who's interested in playing should contact Mr. Camber. Lego Day was last week. Thank you to all who participated and your impressive inventions.
We had 3 categories: tallest, most creative, and Novato High Spirit. And here are your winners.
Attention senior families. Yearbook has a handful of spots left for your senior dedications. If you missed out on this opportunity or would like to secure a quarter page, half page, or full page dedication, check out your yearbookforever.com and click on Create a Senior Ad. Deadline to submit a message and photo is Wednesday, February 10th.
Senior athletes and MSA students, Yearbook wants to recognize your love for the game and/or your artistic passions. They would love to feature your favorite sport or MSA memory throughout high school, any coaches or teachers' advice that you took to heart, or photos of you as a small child playing your sport or preparing for your future MSA audition. Fill out this Google form by February 12th. If you have any questions, email navadahighyearbook@gmail.com. Next Thursday, February 11th, is the Spring Club Fair. Make sure to check out social media for more information about each of the clubs.
Want free money for college? Get help with your financial aid applications from 10,000 Degrees. They are hosting an NUSD financial aid application support workshop on Tuesday, February 2nd from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Dependent students will need access to parents' 2019 tax forms, parent and student birthdays, parent and student social security numbers, parents' marriage or divorce dates. Check out the Zoom meeting ID and password. Questions? Email Grace Francisco from 10,000 Degrees. And now here's Amber.
Hey there, Novato High. Welcome to our first week of the season for nonviolence. And some of you might have heard of nonviolence or nonviolent activism. And whether you're familiar with the term or not, we'll be exploring the power of nonviolence in these announcements. You know, as someone who teaches about wellness, health, and community, how do we acknowledge the social stress of our time? Whether it's on social media, in our Zoom calls, on the streets, in our homes, in the news, how do we begin to take care of our social health? What does a healthy social media look like? Or a healthy family, a healthy school community? What would a healthy government look like, as another example? Because while it seems like we're our own individual selves, most of our lives are built and created off the relationships we have, whether it's the connections and relationships we have with the people and places around us, or maybe the relationships we have to the people and things that make our clothes, our food, or technologies, or maybe even the relationships we have to the political and socioeconomic decisions that affect us. And our primary relationship is with ourselves. So what's the relationship we have with ourselves? How do we feel about ourselves? How do we talk to ourselves? So if we're constantly in relationship, how do we begin to think about our relationships so that they can really serve us and serve the greater good? How can we begin to start practicing the higher values of life, like truth, personal growth, belonging, meaning, justice, peace, possibility, and community? This is where the Season for Nonviolence comes in. So the Season for Nonviolence is a national 64 educational and grassroots campaign dedicated to the legacies of Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And the season begins with the anniversary of the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi on January 30th and ends on the April 4th anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. Both of these men were assassinated because many feared the power of their courageous teachings. Both of these men believe in the power of truth and possibility, that whoever we are, we could awaken ourselves and others by refusing to go along with existing injustice and violence, whether that's towards ourselves or others, and point out more sustainable and truly peaceful alternatives that work for all. So nonviolence stems from a deep understanding about the impact that violence has on all people, those who experience it, those who perpetuate it, and those who witness it. Nonviolence also seeks to understand conflict and how to transform it and heal it. And nonviolence is the desire for the well-being of all, including our perceived enemies, people who think differently than us, or people in our lives that we feel angry or bitter towards. Nonviolence is also based off the idea that belonging is at the center of what it means to be human. We all want to belong, to fit in, to feel like we're part of something meaningful and empowering to us. So I look forward to exploring more of this with you all. Yet to start our first week of the Season for Nonviolence off, we're going to take a moment to honor the relationships we have with our school and everyone in it. That our school is comprised of thousands of people, teachers, students, staff, parents, and that we're all connected because of at least one thing. We all go to Novato High in some way. And even if you may not see or meet many of us, that you're part of a learning community here, and you're part of something, even if some of you may not feel satisfied or fully connected right now. So if you're willing, I want you to go on this Padlet and type in where you were born this week. All you need to do is find the pink plus bottom and type in your birth location. This might give us a deeper feel as to where the people around us come from, and to really acknowledge the different cultures and values that make up our school. So I look forward to going on a journey with you all. See you next week.
That's it for our announcements. And remember, Novato, stay classy.